Prince Andrew is on trial for sex allegations and has been stripped of his royalty. Let's talk about it. Hi guys, I'm Jay News. Welcome back to the channel. Before I get started, do me a favor, do yourself a favor, click subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you know every single time that I make videos. Now, let's get into this. Before we start, the world is in darkness. People need to laugh. We need to be entertained. We need to be offended, and we need to be provoked into thinking a little bit differently. And if that sounds fun to you, then you are going to love our show, Censored. Get your tickets in the links below. Click on them right now. You will not regret that decision. So, His Royal Highness Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, has been stripped of his military titles and his royal patronage by the Queen. That's right, by dear old Lizzie herself. And while he is allowed to keep the honorific of the title, Your Royal Highness, he's no longer allowed to use it because the man is, of course, up on sex abuse allegations. What might those be? Well, have you heard of Jeffrey Epstein? Of course you have. It's another hot topic of 2021 and 2022. Of course, we all know the story of Jeffrey Epstein, so there's no point really going into that. But of course, Prince Andrew was friends with Mr. Epstein. And it is reported that he encouraged His Royal Highness, or his ex-Royal Highness, to have sex with a 17-year-old girl. And that, of course, is why the prince is up on these sex abuse allegations. Now, I'm not going to talk about how long this has gone on for because that is well documented, but I'm very proud and somewhat shocked that the Queen has taken the lead here and stripped him of all his royal titles and duties and military honours. And it goes to show the world that if royalty can't get away with child sex abuse allegations, if royalty can't be hidden from the Jeffrey Epstein saga, then what chance has anybody else got? And I'm sure that there are people all over the world, celebrities, politicians, people who are high-profile business people, I'm sure that they are watching what happens to Prince Andrew very, very closely. Because if he goes down in court, if he is found guilty, then what fucking chance has anybody else got? So I would like to personally applaud the Queen for having the tenacity and the courage to basically say, I don't give a fuck if you're a part of the royal family, you're a person like anybody else, and what you have done, allegedly, let's just make that one clear, what you have done is fucking disgusting, and you shouldn't get away with it. And that really does serve as a lesson to everybody. But I think it also serves as a wonderful gesture to people who aren't celebrities, who aren't politicians, who aren't multi-billionaire tycoons, and who aren't royalty. Because it basically shows us that they can't get away with it. And really, no matter what happens in court, whether Prince Andrew is found guilty or not guilty, unfortunately for him, his name is now basically mud. Because if you are thrown up on a sex abuse allegation, whether that be child abuse or rape or any sex abuse allegation, your name is tarnished. Even if you are found not guilty, people remember that shit for a very, very, very long time. And the higher the profile you've got, the longer people fucking remember. When you make fuck-ups in your life and you're a high-profile person, people still talk about it for a very long time. Jeffrey Epstein has been dead for quite some time, and yet we still talk about it, even though, yes, at the moment, it's still topical. Hitler really fucked up and tried to take over the world and killed millions of people back in the 1940s, and yet we still talk about it. Just the same as people still talk about Julius Caesar and all the other fuckwits in the world. There will always be people out there who fuck up in a right royal way, and that will never ever be forgotten. So sadly for the prince, no matter what the outcome is, he really is fucked. And as I said, it's a wonderful lesson out there to anybody, that if you go down the trap of being a fucking idiot, of being a fucktard, getting caught up in a child sex ring and fucking around literally with underage people, it doesn't matter who you are, it will eventually catch up with you. There's been a whole lot of talk over the past 2 years about the Great Reset and a new world order and so forth. And while some of that, or even a lot of it, could be potentially scary, if a part of that is making sure that anybody with a high profile doesn't get away with shit like that, then I'm all for it. That's at least one really good thing to come out of what potentially has been a very dark 2 years. Now personally, if he is found guilty, and if he is guilty, then I would love to see him go down for this, because as I said before, it shows the rest of the world that if royalty can't get away with it, then neither can fucking you. Do me a favour now, leave me a comment below. What do you think? Do you think that His Royal Highness, well, his ex-Royal Highness, Prince Andrew, deserves to be stripped of all of his medals and his royal honours? Or do you think that's a step too far? Whatever your viewpoint is, I want to hear from you. I will not judge you for it. Let's just have an open discussion. In the meantime, remember, Censored is premiering in April. It's only 2 or 3 months away now, so click on those links in the description. I would love to see you there because Milton, Mick, and myself are going to put on an incredible show. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, and remember, don't be a fucktard. You know, the biggest travesty in this entire scandal is the fact that his name is Prince Andrew rather than Prince Albert. Because if it was Prince Albert, think of all the amazing cock jokes we could tell.